Hey, I'm Pops, and if there was the equivalent of breaking news or something that I'm going to cover, I thought this was interesting because is this the reason or fallout because of the gaming stuff? Like, is it a hot thing now with Mario, Halo? We've heard about others. Street Fighter. Okay, movie moves forward with Talk to Me filmmakers Danny and Michael Philippou. Yeah, this is a Street Fighter movie coming. So they are in talk to direct the Australian twin filmmakers behind the Sundance horror sensation Talk to Me. They're in final negotiations to direct Street Fighter Legendary's feature adaptation of the classic video game from Capcom. Street Fighter is one of the most enduring fighting video game franchises of all time. Began in 1987 arcade game Street Fighter, set a high watermark for arcade fighting games with Street Fighter 2. The game, released in 1991, was the first to offer a choice of characters and fighting techniques, revolutionizing one-on-one play. I'm a normie and I know all this. Street Fighter 2 become a phenomenon, Capcom unleashing countless special editions and remakes. Franchise has sold 49 million units worldwide, with a new installment, Street Fighter 6, coming out in June. Oh, there you go. The take on the material or which characters would be involved wasn't revealed. They're hired off the strength of their breakout tension and gore on the agenda. So I'm assuming that's going to be a hard R, and that's kind of what they're all going for. So Legendary didn't make an official comment. They picked up the gaming rights earlier this month, working with Capcom to produce the adaptation. Then they refer to the 1994 Jean-Claude Van Damme film, which is a complete disaster and everyone hated, but it did have Ming-Na Wen and Raul Julia. There is also the Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, which is the girl that was from Smallville. That's who that is. Complete disasters across the board. The brothers are very, very popular on YouTube. It's called RACKA RACKA, making horror and comedy content. So if you guys are familiar with RACKA RACKA, that's who these guys are. Their feature debut is called Talk to Me. I've not seen this. I don't know where this is. I'll have to check this out maybe. Let's see. This is talking about that film, hot filmmakers. And that's kind of what it's hot filmmakers of the moment. Yeah, there you go. So big news in the sense of gaming adaptations and that kind of thing. I don't know. Is this something you guys want? You want to see Street Fighter done right now? These don't seem like the bros that are dialing into the scissoring hens and the agenda stuff and all that. These are guys that, at least from what I see or have looked at, are sort of like thumbing their nose at a lot of that kind of stuff. And it doesn't mean they won't get themselves, down the wrong rabbit hole and end up, upsetting somebody. But for me, this was interesting. I don't know much about what is your thoughts on like Street Fighter 6? What do you think the adaptation possibilities are? Who would you like to see? What do you want to see in a Street Fighter film? Like, who are the people that you'd like to see in this? We're doing some focus here about Talk Hard this upcoming week. We're going to talk about some of the martial arts stuff that started back when Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee's first American feature, obviously all the way through to like Kill Bill, and how it's sort of like we're kind of like without martial arts stuff now, like it's kind of died. So maybe something like this, especially if it's an R, could be tapping into that market that's not getting fed. It could be a good thing. Again, what kind of casting would you like to see? There's certain people that come to mind. Again, we've been so void of decent martial arts that I don't really have a frame of reference. I think this is the kind of film that you can kind of have a free for all. They literally can get away with checking all the boxes, seeming like they're playing along, and yet at the same time doing something that can at least streamline itself along with what some of the source material was. But I want to love your thoughts. I don't know if anybody's gotten a hold and talking about this yet, so wanted to throw it out there. It just kind of came across as one of my alerts, and I had not heard anything about it. I know of course about the video game and Street Fighter 2. I know about the love of that type of one-on-one fighting and how much people really do enjoy it. I do know that adapting something like that's very tricky because you don't have the kind of source material that you can easily lift from. So maybe between what I'm familiar with the arcade and with where we are now with Street Fighter 6, there's enough material there and mythology there and lore and world building that it gives them the foundation of stuff that they can work with. And we'll see that manifest into a decent film for you guys that are fan of this. So, but I would love to hear from you guys, because this is really more about you guys educating me and talking this through. Again, I don't know. I don't know that I do a lot of breaking news type things because of my schedule and kind of how that works. But reality is, this is just something that has actually popped into my box today. So there you go. You heard it from Pops. Talk to you soon. Thanks.